Welcome back to another Tahoe video, guys. Today I have a quick little mod I just want to run through regarding the keys in these kind of GM trucks and SUVs. Recently I got in touch with Boost Auto Parts and they actually sent me a fob over to try out. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But first I want to show you my current fob and key situation. That is basically it. I know I got quite a few comments asking me what was up with the key, why do I have this ugly key, and how does it actually work, because everybody thought, or at least some of you guys thought, that this thing's supposed to have a chipped key. So first of all, anybody who's watching this from the beginning, you know I got this thing at auction. Pretty much sight unseen, bought it, they delivered it like 3 days later, then I finally got to check everything out. And this is the only key they gave me. It's just like a kind of a generic hardware store cut key, and just the classic kind of old school GM key fob that they used on a lot of cars. And then this is what I recently upgraded to. This is a 2014 and up Silverado key fob, and it's just all around so much better. Boost Auto Parts sells these. They sent me this one. I went and got my own key made. You can see I actually have the Chevy logo on it now. It's a real key. It still isn't shipped though, and I'm going to get to that in a second. And the good news is you could program this yourself. You don't have to take it to a dealer. The key isn't chipped, so you could just go to a hardware store and get a key and have it made. This key I actually got off of Amazon because I wanted it to actually have the Chevy logo on it. So I got this off of Amazon for like 11 bucks. I'm going to link it down below, as well as the link for the fob. But this is a really easy, cheap little mod to do just to kind of upgrade the key system in this truck, because the factory one, I cleaned this. I got it and I cleaned it, and it just gets filthy over and over again. It kind of has these like dirt attracting, very, very squishy buttons, where the newer style is just more solid, and the buttons are more I guess kind of like a clicky type button. They're not just these kind of spongy loose kind of buttons, so it just feels a lot better. To me it works better, and paired with the key I think that looks a hell of a lot better than that. But for anybody who's wondering why I don't have a chip, how do you actually program that? I'm going to get into the programming in a second. But as for the chip situation, these trucks don't have chips in the keys. I don't think GM actually went to that until 2007 or 2009. I think the third generation Tahoe, the 2007 and up trucks, they actually went to a chipped key. And you'll actually know if your key is chipped, because right over here, kind of carved into the key at the base here, there'll be a little plus sign. So the way this actually works is there's actually a sensor in the ignition switch. So when you put the key in and you turn it, the sensor in the cylinder passes over a sensor, or there's like a Hall effect system in here. It passes over the stationary part on the steering column, and that's what actually disengages the security system. So it's not like newer cars where there's an actual chip in the key that detects it. It's just a sensor in the ignition system, and I think the whole purpose of that was just to if somebody was going to try to stick a slide hammer in there and rip the ignition out, they're not going to be able to start the car, because you need to make contact with those two sensors before it'll actually disengage the security system. But yeah, with that being said, you could just get any old key, go to a hardware store. I paid $6. I have this one cut that I got off of Amazon, and you can make as many keys as you want. You'll be good to go. As for the remote, it's very, very simple to program. I'm going to show you guys that right now. All right, so I got you guys propped up here. Now, to program this is very, very simple. First thing you want to do is take your key. Doesn't matter if it's your new one, your old one. Just put the key in the ignition. Don't turn it. Just leave it there. Next step, you want to come over to the door and hold down the unlock button while cycling the key twice. So hold it down, on, off, release the lock. You hear the lock cycle. Now we're in programming mode. So to actually program the fobs, you're just going to take your fob, hold both buttons on the key, and just wait about maybe 15 to 30 seconds, and you're going to hear the lock cycle, and then that fob is actually programmed. That's one. And I'm going to go and program our old fob as well, just so I can use it as a backup. Now when you do this, it's going to clear the memory of any fob you have, so you have to program all the ones that you have at the same time. That's number 2. So now I'm just going to take the key, turn it to on. You'll hear the horn chirp, lock cycle, and both of our fobs should work. So we'll start with the crusty old one here. That's working perfect. And then our new 2014 and up style. Perfect. And just like that, you can program all your new remotes Your key you can easily obtain. I'm going to put a link to this one down on Amazon, as well as a link directly to the Boost Auto Parts site if you want to go and pick one of these guys up. So you guys see I got a new key fob, new key. Unfortunately, Tahoe still is not running, but I just wanted to make a quick video for you guys just to give you an idea for a little mod. If you want something new to do to your Tahoe, Suburban, Yukon, whatever GM truck, SUV you might have. And this is definitely a good, cheap little upgrade. I just like it so much more than the factory fob. It doesn't get like filthy and dirty. It just feels better. It's bigger. It's kind of easier to hold. I know it's kind of stupid. It's just a key fob, but it definitely does make a difference. You're using this thing every day. It's not like a new car where you have keyless entry. You just hit a little button on the door. But remember, guys, if you want to go pick one of these up, I'm going to put the link to the Boost Auto Parts site directly below the video, as well as a link to the Chevy Key I picked up on Amazon. Remember, you're just going to have to take this to a hardware store and have it cut. I brought my original key. They copied it. It cost me like $6 to get this one made. I'm going to have the next video on the transmission Tahoe rebuilds coming out soon, as well as a video drag racing the Camaro, so you're not going to want to miss that. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and for now that is going to do it for this one. So if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, comment, share, once again subscribe, and I'll see you in a few days.